Turn up the bacon. No, bad angle. I guess this is a little better. Turn up the bacon. How's it going, everyone? Frank here. I'm using the microphone on my iPhone today, so sorry if the audio is not quite as good as always. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of prep for the Model Y that I ordered for the business, and that is to go over this checklist right here that's kind of going around some of the Tesla forums online. So a lot of you know that there have been problems with things like panel gaps, glass gaps, or different things inside and outside the car not working. So I'm going to be going over this checklist with our current family car, which is a 2012 Honda Pilot. So this checklist is one that I got from the forums that I talked to you about on part 2 for preparing for the Model Y. Currently it has 37 different things to look out for, plus a lot of A, B, C, D. So it's more like 50, probably, yeah, closer to 50 different things to look out for. So I'm going to be going over all these that apply, and we'll see if they fit to this Pilot. So let's get this thing started. I'm going to be in the sun sometimes. I actually wanted to wear my sunglasses today, but I lost them. We were moving things around in the garage, and they probably fell behind something, and now it's probably covered in spiders. So let's start with this checklist, see what we got. All right, number 1 is to look at the quarter panel. And is there a gap there? Yeah, there might be a little bit of a gap there. All the way down here below. I know it's hard to see at this angle, but that panel goes in, it doesn't match up. And even underneath the door, there's a little lip there. But this is a 2012. We've had it for a while. It's not totally clean. I passed it through a quick car wash, but I don't know. Little gap, not bad, not bad. All right, so driver front wheel. Okay, so this is number 2, the wheel. Yeah, the wheel's fine. As you can see, you know, we're not trying to make it fancy. The weight is on the front for the balancing, and it's fine. All right, so number 3, the driver's side headlight. Now, this one is interesting because the headlight is fine. It does stick out a little bit right here on the corner, which I have never noticed because I never really cared all that much. All right. The alignment's good, so that's fine. And number 4, the front bumper. Okay. The bumper goes all the way around. Now look at this. This is smushed up here, but then there has this right here. It's kind of smushed together. And then it evens out. But it's not exactly aligned perfectly here. That's interesting. It's something I probably would not point out. But just looking around, it looks pretty good. I don't see anything wrong. We've never hit anything with it. And again, right here, where the edge of the bumper comes up, it's a little squished here, but it's not a problem. Yeah, it looks fine. And then down here, yeah, all that looks good. I will say that this gap on this side is larger than the gap on this side. But again, I've never noticed it before, and I've never cared. All right, number 5 is the hood and the frunk. I don't have a frunk. I got an engine. But just looking at the hood, let's see here. There's a couple little scratches. Can you see the scratch? I don't even know if you can see that. There's some bigger scratches here and here that were caused by local cats in the neighborhood. Wish those would go away. And a tiny little, oh no, I thought that was a paint chip. That's dirt. It's actually got positive texture, not negative texture. But I will say, hood is pretty good. It looks like it's aligned just fine. Lines up here. The little gap between the hood and the side. It's a little closer on this side, but I have never noticed that, so it's fine. All right, front windshield. I can tell you from driving this that it's fine. This is actually the second windshield for this car because the first one was broke. It caught a rock one day on the interstate and it instantly cracked all the way across the screen. It was about 105 degrees outside that particular day, and we had the AC blasting. So it makes sense with the giant temperature difference that it would just break. So we had to get a new one, but it's in great shape. Everything around the edges, I'm pointing at the wrong space. There it is up top. Come on, camera, tilt. Using a gimbal with my iPhone, that's why. All right, looks fine. Look, here's my drone that I was just flying. Passenger headlight. Okay. Now, passenger headlight, it looks fine. This doesn't stick out, this corner, like the other side does. So, obviously the alignment of these two are not exactly perfect, but they're fine. I would not be pointing that out. And let's see, what's next? The passenger front wheel. I also know that this wheel's fine. Nothing ridiculous to report here. Passenger front quarter panel. All right, now this one there's definitely some gap down there, and I think that this gap between the door and the front fender a little bit bigger than quarter panel fender. I don't know, but it doesn't leak. It's never been a problem. I'm fine with it. Passenger mirror and trim. That's interesting. There was no mirror option on the other one. The mirror on this is fine. It works. The mechanics inside it still move. So we do adjust them actually every single time. This car does not have pre-designated, well, it doesn't have presets for your different drivers. So besides just being dirty and, 8 years old, it's fine. Passenger front door exterior. Okay. Oh, this asks specifically on the mirror. Yeah, it folds without noise. Because apparently the mirrors are mechanical on the Tesla. So the door exterior, it's fine. You can see over time, some people have dinged it with their cars in parking lots. There's a ding. There's a ding. Starting to get a tiny bit of discoloration right here. Just a small amount. And then this little seal, whoop, there it is. And this little seal at the top of the window, it bubbles out. It doesn't go inside there anymore like it probably should. But it's never leaked. Not one bit. As a matter of fact, I just went through a car wash. There's no water in there. And then it says to check the interior. So there's a little scratch right here. There it is. That scratch is actually from when they had to take the door off, and the service center did that. There's really no way to do that other than to replace this entire section, so we were fine with it. But we actually got new automatic locks. The locking mechanisms that make this lock had to be replaced. And that happened on all 4 doors after about 6 years of use. And it's like they all went out at once. But even that light's never been changed out. It's still good. There are no problems on the inside of the door other than that one thing. There's this. Oh, look at that. Okay. That foam has simply worn off of its clip over time, but it still does not cause leaks. I might glue that down or something. I'm not sure. but it's fine. All right, what's next on the list? Passenger, front door interior, front seat, dash. Okay, thought we were doing exterior first, but the dash is fine. I know you get a bunch of shadows and such, but believe me, it's all fine. No worries there. Okay. And the seat is also fine. So, passenger rear door exterior. Again, this door is fine. It hasn't gotten the dings that the front door has, which makes sense. More people ride in front seats than back seats when they're going places. Let's see. It looks like this foam might be starting to wear off just a little bit up here, but it's also not causing a problem. There's no leaks, no excessive noise or anything like that. So rear door interior, let's take a look. I did not wash this, so my wife might be unhappy that I'm putting this on the internet. I only washed the outside, and that was just a quick pass through in a drive-through car wash, but the inside looks fine. No problems. Okay, passenger rear seat. Okay, I can tell you about the seats. So you can see we have a spare mask right there, some sunglasses, and the little seat cover that you use for kids to get them into shopping carts and such, so they don't have to touch the shopping cart. And of course, our little one's car seat. So the seats are in great condition. They're leather. This is real leather, unlike the Tesla fake leather. And they're in great shape. We have no cuts on any of them, no scratches. It's, you know, and there've been kids here, and everything's in great shape. And that includes the third row, which this doesn't check. There is a third row back there, which is partially folded down. But they're fine too. They're in great shape. So no worries about the doors. All right, what do we have next? The passenger's panoramic glass roof. Yes. I don't have that. But I do have a sunroof. And I can tell you that it opens and closes and has no leaks. It is a great little sunroof. I really enjoy it. And the rest of the roof is in fine shape. And you were able to see that from the drone footage from earlier as I flew over this car. All right, passenger rear wheel. All right, let's take a look. Wheel looks fine. Okay, so my 3-axis gimbal battery died, so the rest of this is going to be handheld. It's going to be a little shakier than normal. I'm starting to get sweaty, hence the moisture on my face, because it's 7 in the morning and it's 80 degrees out. Woohoo, Mississippi. All right, continuing. Rear quarter panel. And it looks great. There might be a slight little gap right here. I don't know, but it looks fine to me. It's old, it's seen, it's road rash, but it's still in great shape. It really is. Taillight. Passenger taillight. All right, the taillight here, it's in good shape. There are absolutely no gaps all the way around it. It sits flush. All the lights currently work. I've had to replace the blinker bulbs on them, but that's pretty common. All right, the rear bumper. Let's take a look at this bumper. This bumper is in great shape. Never had anything hit it except one time when I was getting really close to a trailer. My little tow hitch cover, I bumped someone else's tow hook, or yeah, tow hitch. So there, and we do have a tow hitch, you know, inside there, the square 2-inch, blah, 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 you know. And of course, this one has exhaust pipes. Not going to have that in the other car, am I? By the way, the next thing after the bumper was the tow hitch area. Now the trunk. The trunk on this one should be interesting. It does open. It also opens with a button. Okay, so after opening that up, it's nice. There's this little pull-down handle for closing, or I can pull manually, or I can press the button and close it. I don't know why there's 3 different options, but there are. So in here, for the back passenger, we have an extra power outlet, and the kids, we have a 12-volt USB adapter so they can plug in their phones when they're in the back seat. That third row. And of course, the trunk space is nice, and there is a hidden trunk space under here. In this hidden space under here, you know, it's extra storage. You can see inside of there, that's where the jack is, and there is a spare tire under here. You see there, spare tire. You simply pop that off, and then you can lower the spare tire down. The spare tire, much like on some pickup trucks, is actually under the bottom here. And it's a full-size, well, not a full-size tire, but it's smaller. This also has, which I'm not going to be able to show you with this back seat down, but this can actually, you know what? So inside there, extra storage is very nice. But there is a problem that we discovered right after we took delivery of this particular Honda Pilot. And that's this. This pops up, and it's not supposed to, as you can see. And it's never been able to sit flush. We have tried pushing, snapping, popping, whatever we got to do. And so whenever we lift up this back seat, which is down here, if we just pull it, it catches. So we have to use 2 hands. I don't know if I'll be able to set up my phone now that my gimbal, which is also my tripod, is dead. Let me see if I can do that. If I press this down, and then I can lift it up. See, but I have to press that down first. And then boom, back seat's up, all 3 seats. And of course, this head seat raises, this head seat raises, and there's also one in the middle for when you have a middle passenger. That seat actually raises up too, or that headrest. And one other nice thing, if you're using your additional storage and the 3rd row is up, this little hook will keep it open. Hard to do with one hand, I guess, but there it is. So then you can have the extra storage space at all times, which is nice. Otherwise, it just uses a little bit of Velcro, sticks down there. My list. And it just pops closed. I don't have any buttons that go bloop bloop to lower the seats automatically. You have to do that manually. And that's with this. Yes. So it's a manual process, but it's not bad. And of course, back here in the 3rd row, they have a little storage bin. What is that? Who knows? But there's cup holders there. There's cup holders here. No storage on this side, just a little bit of storage on this side. And that's it. And right here above the license plate and below the logo, right here, of course, it's the little reverse camera below the logo. And also, unlike the Tesla Model Y, this one has a windshield wiper. All right, driver rear quarter panel. Yeah, it's fine. Strangely enough, this one has the smallest gap right here. Almost nothing. But if you look here, it's very close. It's like seamed together, and then it gets wider right here. Again, something I never noticed until now. And so I doubt that I'll point that out when I take possession of the Model Y. Taillight. Taillight is exactly the same as the other taillight. Had to replace the blinker, otherwise it's in perfect shape. No misalignment. It's all snug. It's great. Oh, and the charging port. Oh, there's water in there. Look at that. It's leaking fuel. No, that's water from when I washed the car. Obviously, I don't have a charging port, but I can put gas in the car. It works just fine. Side 2. Driver rear wheel. Yeah, it's the same. It's perfectly fine. There it is. The rear door, exterior. It looks fine. Starting to get a little bit of discoloration on both of these parts. Back door, front door. And you can see there have been a few dings over time, but that happens. Got a nice little scratch here. Never really noticed that. But it's also inside the curve, and I don't really look down there. We don't have this for sport purposes. We have this for family transportation purposes. So it is what it is. And the door interior. Much like the other side, this door is perfectly fine. I don't even know if we had to replace this lock before, but the door is in great shape. It might need a little bit of washing, but it's fine. Yep, all this is fine. It's still tacked all the way around. Yep, it's fine. No leaks. No problems. Front door. Driver's front door. The door looks fine. Hi. The door looks fine. Look at that. I might have a bit of a misalignment problem here. The door is slightly higher. Confirmed from the top. The front door is slightly higher. Oh my gosh, I need to return it. No, it's fine. It really is fine. It causes no problems. It causes no extra drag. There's another scratch down there, but that's just, it's an 8-year-old car. We don't have any kind of paint protection film on here. The door is fine. Let's check the inside because that's the next thing on the list. Now, of course, this door is used more than all the other doors. It should probably be the strongest, and it'll also be the most abused. You can see there's these little stretches on the leather. Again, this is real leather. And that's probably from me. That's kind of gross. I need to clean that. I apologize. But that's from me just using it all the time. Putting my arm there all the time for years. Little scratch mark, probably from my shoe or my boot. Let's see, this little part is sticking out. It really should be flush. A little part sticks out there, but it's not bad. So overall, I think it's okay. And then it'll ask me to check the seat. These seats are fine. Again, a little wear and tear. Starting to get some wrinkles in. Thought that was a tear in the leather for a moment there, but it isn't. It's just some wrinkles in the leather right here where you get in and out of the car. But otherwise, the seat is in great shape. These seats do have heaters on the front seats only, and they also work. We know that because we use them in the wintertime. And the mirror. That mirror motor also works. Let's see if I fold it in. It's not crazy squeaky. It's fine. Okay. All right, so that's about it. Now I can tell you that the rest of the checklist has to do with the interior. Wow, look at that sunlight. Let's change it up some. Okay, now what's a good angle? I guess this will be a good angle. So the rest of the checklist has to do with the interior, such as the card area where you put in your ignition, your starting card. And I don't have that. There's the dash. The dash is in great shape. There's no problems with it. There's no cracks, no discoloration, no bubbling, nothing like that. It's in great shape. We see it every day. I don't have to check it. Steering wheel also, it's perfectly fine. And the tires aren't misaligned, so the steering wheel doesn't, wobble to one side or anything. The leather around the steering wheel grip is still in perfect shape, so that's fine. The lights work. The console works, but of course the console is not one big computer screen. It's all the regular buttons and knobs that you'd see on most vehicles. So, all those features work, including the CD player. And it also it'll record CDs. And
few moments later.
All right, one of the joys of doing video with your phone is that you get phone calls sometimes that stops your recordings. Oh well. So, let's see. The console. Yeah, I mentioned that. It's got a CD player. It's cool. It rips the CDs into MP3s and stores them in its own internal library and its own memory. So that's pretty cool. So it's like having a CD changer in the car, but it only has actual one CD drive and no other mechanics for the radio. So I do like that. The Honda Pilot does not have a wireless phone charger, so that's going to be something that it's just not part of it. And I know there's third-party accessories for that, but I don't have that. We just plug into the existing USB ports, of which there are 2 in the front. And then, like I mentioned before, we have 12-volt USB inverters, along with safety mechanisms. And I'll link those too. They're really cool. It does have a rear camera, as I pointed out when I was behind the car. And the color screen works great for that. Never had a problem with it unless the camera lens is dirty, which it then just takes, just rub your thumb on it and it's fine. It's weird. Maps. Doesn't do maps. Bluetooth. Yeah, it does Bluetooth. That's pretty much how we exclusively listen to music. There's a few CDs that we listen to that don't stream on Apple Music, don't stream on Spotify. And so we have the CDs. We're glad we have the CD player in there because we get to listen to some of those older CDs or rare CDs that are hard to find that are not on streaming services. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, the Bluetooth is definitely used. We use it to listen to podcasts. We listen to mostly Spotify because we have a Spotify family plan. And yeah, Bluetooth works great. Also for phone calls. It works great for phone calls. Now, as far as the next thing on the checklist says speakers and music. And I will say that the sound system inside the Pilot is pretty good. I don't know. It's just, I really enjoy it. It sounds like some good premium speakers. I don't know what brand they are. I could probably go look, but I don't really care. I'm not a speakers brand type person, but they're good. Air conditioning works. One nice thing is that you can control the temperature independently for the back seats, not for the third row seat, but for the second row. You can control the temperature and the fan speed. But the front seat, I guess the parents, if you will, can lock the back seat settings to where they have the only control over the back, which can prevent fighting for the kids sometimes, which is nice. Seat belts. All the seat belts work, including the clips for car seats. So that's fine. All right, it says to check the windshield wipers, and check to make sure the windshield wiper fluid is good, and it's fine. I don't know what to tell you on that one. It's fine. There's a water test because some people's Model Y have been leaking. The Model Ys, I guess, have been leaking. Some of them leak horribly. I saw one video where it looked like it was raining horribly just everywhere in the headliner, including the electronics in the top. It looked kind of scary and frightening because there's a lot of voltage and amperage going through those batteries in that car. That was bad. But this one doesn't leak. Like I said, I just went through a car wash. We drive in it in the rain all the time. There's no water leaks. That's great. So, the last 2 things are the rear seats, which are fine, and the clothing hangers. The clothing hangers, the little hooks where you can do that. There's no mechanical hook for this one. It doesn't pop out and pop in like it does on the Model Y. So they're just constantly there. They've never broken off and they're fine. And I guess that's it. So it's hot outside. It's 82 degrees now, and only 15 minutes have passed. It's crazy. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to get back home because I actually have to start my work day in a few minutes. So thank you for watching. Turn up the bacon, and I'll see you next time.